Hey guys, it's Francis. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. This is my trade review. I only had one trade today, that was Microsoft. I traded this on a quasi breakup. Looking at the daily, you got a double bottom retest here, and the market was definitely strong today. It gapped above, so I had a bullish bias to begin with. Here, even on the 65. So yeah, with regards to Microsoft, right off the gate, it was strong relative to the market. We'll look at this right here. Looking at compared to the market, the Qs at least, the Qs kind of went red and did a bounce, and this is kind of where I got in, right? This bar, we kind of ignored it, and as it got back up to 422, I went in. So my trade was 422 by 420.20. I gave it right there, and as it got up here, I actually sold a little bit earlier, and the reason for that is I have to respect this 200 MA right here. At the time it was 425.08, I think, and I got out right here. You see I got in on this blue bar, and then the red I got out is relatively quick, within 10 minutes I think, and this was for 1.74 R. And you can see it really struggled for quite a bit. And as it got here, I actually became interested again because it started consolidating. This is as clean as the breakout as you can see on the 5 minute. And I told myself if I see a shakeout bar, I would go back in. But unfortunately, I had out work for the day already right here, and I never saw this bar formed. Because had I did, I would have went in. I would have went in at 425.60 by whatever this bar is. 425.60 by 424.90. I would have got 2R right there, and then Bob's your uncle. The trade that I was unable to take was Hood. This was my favorite gap of the day. I'll look at it on a higher time frame here. It kind of pushed up. It engulfed this red bar. It's not overextended on the weekly either, and on the daily I like that this was a topping tail red bar, actually closed red, denoted by this volume here, and it gapped above that. I wanted to see above 44, which it held, but unfortunately I just didn't get a clean entry. I wasn't gonna do a high low on this. I just wasn't that confident, and the spread for me was about 5 cents. It wasn't too bad at the time. I would only take a high low on a level 1 gap. To me, this was more so a level 2. This was not a wide enough range bar for me to consider this a level 1. But if this bar was a little bit wider, I think I would have taken a high low. Elizabeth, on her paper trading, she did take it, so she ended up getting 2R, and this was just beast mode for the rest of the day. Another trade I had considered was Apple. I had considered Apple before Microsoft, actually, because of its relative strength. Again, right here, I drew a trend line. It bounced 2 days, and it continued to do so. What kind of scared me was this little resistance right here. We zoom out. Right at, call it 238. I wasn't sure how much room I would have. I was hoping this would give me a 3-bar play, but it just kind of pushed up. I contemplated on going right here, right, because it held this mini trend line and it pushed up. I guess a classmate in the mentorship, a la Aaron, he does these things called red bar ignored. He developed it himself, and I find that it's been pretty interesting following that pattern. So I'll continue to track it. Nonetheless, I didn't end up taking Apple. Another trade I was looking at was AMD on a buy setup. So everything was gapped up. I like AMD on daily moving above 118.70, which is denoted by this line here. So it did a double bottom retest. The retest was at the previous day's high, or I guess 2 days ago was high, so on the second day. So I like that it bounced there. It pushed up, pulled back 50%, and the 50% was exactly at the prior day's high, which is right here. And I did like that. I had considered it, and what made it even better was the retest. So this was a no-go, but on this retest, at the area of support, about 50% retest VWAP, 20 moving average right here. This is the 20 MA moving average. The main reason why I did not take this trade was the AMD at this point was relative weak to the market. We compare the Qs right here. It pulled back and the Qs just kept trucking. So I wasn't sure if, so this was a new high of the day for Qs. I had concern that the Qs would kind of start pulling back and this would just fail. So I didn't end up taking this, but had I did, this would have been a 2-hour trade again. And then last but not least, Meta. And very similar, very similar. Meta again pulled back to an area of support. I drew this resist / support line right here. It pulled back. This blue line is the rising 9 EMA. Went up, pulled back. Now it broke the high, pulled back here. I had considered it, but it was a little bit too shallow. I decided to stay out of it. Otherwise, even on the 5-minute, like you ignore this red bar and just pushed up, which I kind of like. So these are some of the things that I was watching. End of the day off at 1.74 R. Could have been 5, so it could have been 2 R, but given with Microsoft, I was respecting the 200 MA. I didn't feel too bad about it, and of course, this was unfortunate that I had to step out to work. Otherwise, I saw this. Jared calls it, I guess, a fake out or a shakeout bar. I would have 100% gone to this play. At this point, it was already over the 200 MA. So that's my trade review for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Thank you.